Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy my videos, don't forget to hit that like button, and please subscribe and help me reach my goal of 1000 subscribers by the end of this year and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And now, let's start today's video. My brother-in-law just told my wife he is in love with her. So yesterday, my brother-in-law, out of the blue, asked my wife if she can meet him for lunch. There is something he needs to talk to her about. My wife tells me about it before accepting and asks if it might have something to do with my sister. Maybe they are having problems and he wants to discuss it with another woman. I find it odd, but I tell her to go find out. So she accepts and they meet for lunch at a place near her office the next day. That's where he tells her that he is in love with her. He lays it on thick, how beautiful she is, how she makes him feel, how he would treat her if she were his, how it was love at first sight, blah blah blah. Mind you, this man is married to my sister and has 2 kids. He and my wife had a friendly relationship. Our families see each other often, as we are a close family. He does text her frequently, but there was nothing overly sexual. My brother-in-law texts and calls my mom too, so none of us thought anything of it. I want to stop for a moment and emphasize that my wife isn't cheating on me with him. My wife and I share an iPad, and I see every one of her texts from there. We are also looking at each other's phones all the time, so none of that is going on, so she doesn't let him finish, walks out and calls me immediately to tell me what happened. While she is on the phone with me, the texts from him start. He didn't mean it, he thinks it's only infatuation, blah blah blah. She leaves work early to come home to talk to me about this, and her phone is blowing up the entire time with calls and texts from him. I tell her to answer, and she puts him on speaker so I can hear too. He's crying, begging not to tell my sister. Apparently, when we were together this past weekend, he thought that she was flirting with him, and that he thought they had a moment when they were alone in our kitchen. Now, my wife is a major ball-buster, and I suppose I can see how that can be taken as flirting. He asks if she told me, to which I answer, yes, as I am on a speaker. Then he starts begging me. This went on for a while. My main question was whether he had cheated on my sister before. He said no, swearing on his kids' lives. It's just my wife, he said I should understand. So I'm done listening at that point and told him I wasn't going to do anything tonight and I would call him tomorrow. That's where we are right now, and I really don't know what to do. My wife says drive over there right now and tell my sister, but the idea of wrecking my sister's family is killing me. Thinking about what it will do to my nieces makes me want to vomit. I know the right thing to do is tell my sister, but I am also thinking about my wife as well. It's not her fault, but there is sure to be resentment toward her from my family. Even if my sister doesn't divorce him, and they reconcile, I can't see how we are ever going to get together again like we were before, if at all. This whole episode can tear my family apart. I don't give a crap about him. He tried to destroy my family, but I do care about everyone else. I don't know what to do. Any advice will help. I think you should have told your sister right away, as you don't know what your brother-in-law will tell your sister. He can turn herself against you, you know. But we have an update, so let's see what actually happened. Update: my brother-in-law just told my wife he is in love with her. So everyone that told me last night that I shouldn't wait to tell my sister was right. A little after 12 last night, I got a call from my sister and said that she has to tell me that my wife tried to begin an affair with her husband. So he tried to pin it on her. I told her that's not the case and I will be right over. So I get on the phone, wake my mother and father, tell them what's going on, wake my younger brother and tell him too. My mom and dad head to my sister's to sit with their kids and my brother comes to our house to sit with ours and my wife and I head over. My sister is out on the front porch with my brother-in-law when we get there. He looks beaten. He knows we have texts and voicemail. I really don't know what he was hoping to accomplish. My wife gives my sister her phone. She sees the texts, listens to the voicemails, and he starts sobbing before she can say anything. My brother-in-law is a firefighter, a big tough guy, so this is a scene. My sister is pretty tough. She tells him to stop it, pack a bag and go. She can't stand to look at him. There's more begging. But she has no patience for it. So my sister walks off to talk with my wife. I see them hugging, so at least I feel like they are okay. They have actually been friends since college. I met my wife through my sister, so they are tight. The thought of this wrecking her friendship had been weighing on me. This leaves me with my brother-in-law. He's broken, so I feel more sympathy than anger. He says he's sorry, he just couldn't help it. It's not hard to fall in love with my wife, so I get it, but damn man. He eventually picks himself up and leaves, so we are there all night. My sister starts asking my wife why her husband would think any of this would work out. He had to have some reason to believe that. She felt the same way. My sister says they hadn't been having problems. Everything was as it had always been. My wife is crying at this point and says there's nothing you haven't seen. She gives my sister her phone again, and they read every text ever sent over the past 2 years, nothing there. My wife was just herself. She has a playful personality, and so does my brother-in-law, so they tease each other. She does the same to my mom and younger brother as well. The only thing she could think of was the moment in the kitchen this past weekend he referenced. They both went for the fridge at the same time, and they playfully jostled for who would get there first. He lets her win, but he reaches around her waist to get a beer slowly, and she did feel the way that he did it was a little inappropriate. She says she should have called him on it but didn't want to make it a big thing. She feels maybe the fact that she didn't give him hope. My sister doesn't blame her, so at least that's good. So then my sister starts going through his MacBook to see what else she doesn't know about. She's angry and frantic at this point. She guesses the password, starts searching, and finds a lot of pictures of my wife on that computer. They went back years and always isolated on just her. We had gone as couples to the Caribbean a few years earlier. My wife wore a bikini, she usually doesn't, but since it was adults only, so she did. There were probably 50 pictures of her in that bathing suit, so he's been secretly snapping these 4 years. Does this now enter retraining order territory? This has taken a creepy turn. I'll update when I have more. Update 2. I've shared with my wife many of your comments. It makes her feel better that virtually everyone here holds her blameless. It makes her feel better, so thank you. Unfortunately, the mess continues. My sister agreed to talk to her husband last night and let him explain. She puts my wife on FaceTime during this conversation, so there will be no lying. I'm listening in as well off camera. My sister is also recording the whole thing. He admits he's been obsessed with my wife for years. It started the day he met her. My wife and I were dating at the time, but he met my wife before he met me. Like I said, my wife and sister are longtime friends, and my sister wanted to introduce her boyfriend to her friends. He thought it was only physical for a while, but over time he knew it was more. My sister nearly kicks him out right there, but listens a little more, and she eventually asks what made him think that my wife would leave me for him. He answers that there is obviously mutual attraction, and he figured it would begin as an affair, and then things would progress from there. My wife and sister explode at that point, a lot of cussing, a lot of screaming. The phone call is over, my wife hangs up because at this point she is concerned for me, she's shaken and distraught, and assures me the attraction was one-sided. I never thought it wasn't. Even if she did find him physically attractive, I know she would never act on it. She's just not the type. Early on in our relationship, she caught me admiring her as she was dressing, asked if I liked what I saw before her face turned cold, and told me never to F up or I'd never see it again. She meant it. She's serious about trust. Anyway, I knew my brother-in-law was a little crocky, but my God, I never knew he thought that highly of himself to be able to pull off something like this. I talked to my sister later on, and she is contacting the lawyer Monday to see what steps she can take to limit his exposure to her kids. As far as she is concerned, he is detached from reality. That's all I have for now. I'll update once the dust settles a bit. Wow. This whole drama is absolutely disturbing. That man clearly needs serious professional help, because what started as a secret fantasy clearly spiraled into something unhealthy and obsessive. It's not just creepy, it's dangerous. His comments weren't harmless slips, they were a reflection of his resentment and fixation, and it honestly comes across like he was testing boundaries to see how far he could push things. I really think you and your wife should protect yourselves legally, at the very least by documenting everything, and looking into a restraining order. People like this often escalate when they feel rejected or exposed. He's shown no respect for you, your marriage, or even his own family. That's not just narcissism, that's a total lack of boundaries. It's heartbreaking for your sister to be caught in the middle of all this, but as awful as it is, maybe it's also a chance for her to see his true colors and finally step away. If he hadn't fixated on your wife, he probably would have found someone else to transfer his obsession onto. This wasn't about love, it was about control and entitlement. Stay safe, trust your gut, and don't let him minimize what's happened. People like this rarely stop unless they're forced to face consequences. And we have one final update, so let's see what happened. Final update, my brother-in-law just told my wife he is in love with her. This is likely to be my final update, as I don't see much more happening after this, besides divorce proceedings. Thanks for all the comments, they have helped my wife with some of the guilt. Anyway, my brother-in-law returned home yesterday, not because my sister wants him back, but because she can't legally stop him. They are done. I think he realizes that now. The lawyer tells my sister that since my brother-in-law's behavior over the past few days has been documented, there is a good chance she will be granted full custody. He doesn't seem to even want to fight her on that. My sister will be fine. Any love she had for him is gone, and she doesn't seem to be broken up about it. The kids don't know what happened yet, but my brother-in-law was never around much anyway when the kids were home. He slept at the fire station many nights and put in a lot of overtime, but it is certain to be hard on them once they know what's going to happen. Many commenters have said that there must be more women, but as far as we can tell, there hasn't been. It's really just the obsession with my wife. She has blocked his phone, but on the same night he returned home, he sent my wife an email from the account he just made. It started with an apology, but then took a turn. He said he never got to finish at the restaurant that day. Then he went on for paragraphs and paragraphs about all the things he loves about my wife and the desperation he felt that led him to do what he did. He mentioned their mutual attraction again and the sexual tension that he always felt was between them, and ended with a rather large section about me. Let's just say I didn't know he had such a low opinion of me. He was quite certain that I was not satisfying my wife properly. Anyway, we sent the email to my sister, and it will go to the lawyer. It might be enough to get him removed from the house. Finally, my wife isn't great, but she is doing better every day. She does blame herself for being too comfortable around my brother-in-law. She is always careful to set boundaries with other men. In case you haven't figured it out already, my wife is pretty stunning and gets a lot of male attention. But with my brother-in-law, she felt safe to be herself, since he was family, surely no lines would be crossed. She and my sister are cool, and there doesn't appear to be any resentment, so that makes me happy. We will all be okay, it will just take time. Thanks to all who commented and voiced their support. Oh my God. I mean, the scary part is that he's created a whole fantasy in his head, convincing himself your wife feels the same. That's not harmless, it's obsession, and it can escalate fast. Don't assume he's done. Watch out for stalker-like behavior, keep your wife from being alone if possible, and document everything in case you need legal protection. This is all fallout from one man's delusion, and it's heartbreaking your family has to deal with it. Stay united, keep your wife safe, and don't hesitate to take stronger action if he crosses the line again. And I especially feel so sorry for your sister. She didn't deserve any of this. My heart breaks for her. The silver lining, though, is how strong and level-headed she is. A lot of friendships wouldn't survive something this messy, but she's shown real grace through it all. Your wife is lucky to have a sister-in-law like her, and you're lucky to have such a resilient family. Take care of them and protect that bond. It's rare. And so, that's the end of this story. Do tell me what you think about this fiasco in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you do in such a situation. Also, thank you so much for sticking around till the end. Hit the like button if you enjoyed today's story, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.